All right. Here we go. The official podcast launch, right? No, it's not really a freaking podcast launch. I don't know. I think I'm going to say that in the title. And it's just me blabbing. It's just me freaking blabbing. So I was thinking about my days of using pills and such. Dude, I was a freaking idiot. Dude, I would take dude, you know how much of an idiot I was? Okay, here we go. First story. Here we go. Okay, this is how much of an idiot I was. So I was prescribed clonidine. This is the story when I overdosed on clonidine. Well, I don't want to say overdose. It wasn't like I was in the hospital getting my stomach pumped. This is when I took 18 days worth of clonidine, and I'll tell you how I did it, okay? So what I did is... Okay, so back then, this is years ago, clonidine's a blood pressure medicine. A lot of times doctors will prescribe it during, when you withdraw, get off pills, whatever. But yeah, it's a blood pressure medicine, helps regulate your body temperature, and it can help relieve anxiety for some people. So there you go. All right, very effective at lowering blood pressure. Okay, sorry. So anyway, this is years ago, and I took so much stuff. Dude, I always talk about benzos and Suboxone. Well, dude, I would take this Ambien and amitriptyline, blah, 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 because sleeping was always a pain. And so I always had all these, maybe I have some melatonin there, whatever. So anyway, what I would do, so a few hours before bed or something, if I thought about it, I was like, okay, I'd get all my nighttime pills is what I call it, my nighttime meds. So I'd get all my nighttime meds together, and I'd put them in just one bottle, and I'd set it right by my bed on the nightstand. And I had some other bottles there, but I try to kind of put it right front and centered, so I would just grab that. So what I would do is when I would go to bed, I just grab that one bottle, open it up, and just take everything and throw it back. Okay? So, So anyway, me and my wife went to bed. And I think we were talking or something, and I wasn't really paying attention very good. And one of the light little lamps was probably on and whatever. And I just I had my water, grabbed a bottle, threw it back. Didn't think anything of it. Okay, went to bed. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night and felt like effing death. Like death. Like I was like, dude, am I dying? Well, you can die from taking too much clonidine. It felt like death. I mean, my blood pressure was so low, I could hardly walk. I couldn't get down the hall hardly. I had to sit down and dude, my head hurt so freaking bad, dude. And it was all tight and it was absolutely terrible. I couldn't even I couldn't open my eyes. That's right. I remember I couldn't see it, look at any light it was crazy. So I go pee, and of course, I just go back to bed. I'm like, I didn't even want to tell my wife. I didn't want to tell her. I'm like, she can just find me dead in the morning. No, I don't want to tell her before that. No. But woke up the next day. I called into work because I felt just terrible. I didn't know what was going on, dude. I still hadn't clicked. Okay. I still didn't know what I did. And I'm just like, man, and I had some health problems. I had already had seizures and blood clots and whatever else. So I'm thinking man, maybe it's something to do with that. I don't really know, but it was nothing I had ever experienced before. And that whole day, dude, I just had to lay in bed. I couldn't open my eyes. I was so tired, completely exhausted, just so exhausted. And anyway, so whatever, miss work, whatever. Well, nighttime, it's bedtime again. So I'm gonna get my nighttime meds together, and of course, I need to take my clonidine. I would always take that at night, and I go to my clonidine bottle, and it's empty. I'm like, what the hell? What? I look at the date. I'm like, this isn't an old bottle. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, well, it's right here, I think. And I grabbed it. It was my nighttime meds bottle, of course. Okay, and there's 2 clonidines in there because that's something I put in there. And so I was able to. No, I didn't freaking take it that night. So I still, dude, so anyway, I was still feeling terrible. So the next day I went to the freaking doctor and, told him, it was so funny. So I go in there, I'm like, okay, I feeling terrible, whatever. And, telling him so I just threw back my bottle, of course I had to tell him well, I'd have this nighttime meds thing. And I put the bottle, the pills in the bottle. So I threw these freaking things back and And, and he's like, well, how much did you take? I'm like, well, I go, it was 18 days worth. And he was like, what? Like, blah, 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 and I told him how many, so we did the math of how many milligrams it was. It was funny because, clonidine is small, like the pills you have are like 0.2 milligrams, and two of those. So I ended up taking like, I don't know, over 6 milligrams of clonidine or some crap like that. And my wife was like, but 6 milligrams isn't very much. And he was just like, 6.5 milligrams of clonidine is a lot of clonidine. And she was like, oh, okay. But yeah, dude, that was freaking crazy, dude. I probably should have gone to the hospital. I don't know. I didn't do anything that whole first day. But yeah, it was 2 days of I was just out. I mean, I was just down and out. I didn't work the second day, went to the doctor, whatever. But yeah, dude. But anyway, maybe that wasn't a very good story, but something I did want to talk about. Because I've talked about, I made the video about finding a dead guy at my dealer's house, okay? Well, I got to tell you about my other dealer, okay? And there's more. I could tell more stories about my first dealer where I found the dead guy at his house. He was my main dealer, the guy that he's dead now. And yeah, anyway, found a dead guy on his porch, and he's dead as well. All right. But my other dealer, this guy was a freaking trip, dude. The biggest trip I knew. I mean, okay, here he was. First of all, in my phone, his name was World War III. That's what I had him under in my phone, because that's what he was, dude. If I had ever, like, how do I say this? If I was ever going to say that I've seen demonic activity inside somebody, this was the guy. This was the guy, okay? Okay, well, I'm going to just tell you right now, this is all true, okay? So first of all, he had Tourette's, okay? He had Tourette's, and he would literally just be like, fuck shit, fuck shit, like, out in public, whatever. Sorry, I'm cussing, but that's just what it is. That's just the truth with this guy. And so he'd fuck shit, and he'd say other stuff too, and about, well, he'd also have conversations with himself all the time. He'd be like in the store buying stuff. He'd be like, I don't know, should we get this? Like we and stuff. Like it was just freaking, no. And all of a sudden, like, no, we're not getting this. Yeah. Like, yeah, we are. No, you don't need it. I mean, just a trip, okay? Well, it's crazy how I even met this guy. Anyway, he had methadone, he had Klonopin, and Adderall, okay? So it was a one-stop shop, all right? Yes, he didn't have morphine, but at that point when things were the way things were happening, I had to settle for methadone. So it was a one-stop shop for me. And he was a military man. His truck was the green, this and that, and all this, he wore the camo stuff every day and dog tag. I mean, he was ready. He was ready. Well, this guy, so his place, all right, his place. I mean, it was set up. I mean, it looked like the set of MASH, okay? It looked like the set of frickin' MASH. He had all the military stuff, tents. Well, then he had like a little complex or whatever you want to call it. And he like built, and it was like this big wooden structure. But inside, there was like rooms within rooms, or you know what I mean? Like, so like when you go inside, like there were or trailers that would, or you know what I mean, that would, what am I trying to think? They're on top of a pickup, a freaking trailer, you go camping in, whatever, but you don't tow it. You get what I'm saying. It's the kind that sit up on the truck. I'm sorry if I can't remember. Anyway, he had a few of those in there within this wooden structure. Well, then he had a freaking, you go around and he had like a bunker, okay? A bunker. He had freaking boots, pallets of water, boots, MREs, dude, just so much freaking food, ammunition everywhere, okay? Ammunition everywhere, stacked all throughout his whole house. He had, he sold guns too. He sold guns, and he had, he had, optic stuff and red dot this and night vision this and just everything for guns everywhere, ammunition everywhere. And he had them in all these different spots, and he could make you whatever you wanted with a weapon. And anyway, so it was a trip. He had pills stashed everywhere because he was always tripping out. He was always tripping out, dude. Always tripping out, this guy. And so he had stuff hidden everywhere. I mean, he trusted me more than anyone, though. We weren't even that close. He could have said I was his best friend one time. I always kind of had a heart for people, though, too. And I was selfish. He had something I wanted, let's be honest. I helped him get like a single-wide trailer and stuff, too, with one time. Anyway. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of, I mean, he had gas masks from the Persian Gulf. He had NATO gear, NATO stuff. Like I said, ammunition up the, you know what? I mean, he was preparing for the end of the world. I mean, that's what it was, dude. Everything, okay? He had a radio out there. That's all he freaking had. And he had a radio and a BlackBerry. And so anyway, so when I'd roll up on this guy's house, listen to this. This is what it was, and this is the truth, okay? Yeah, when I was talking about demonic activity, like, yeah, that stuff there is a trip. This is what I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, I thought, it's like, dude, he's gonna kill me sometime. So here we go. So I'd roll up on his house, and it was, oh yeah, he had the flag, he had lights ready. He told me he had mines out in areas. I believe him. This guy's nuts. He's a crazy guy. Whatever. God, I hope he doesn't freaking ever see this. And you roll up on his house, and it's a gate and the whole thing. You're not just walking in there. And he'd never be out. He'd never just be out waiting for you or whatever. He'd always be in one of these in his complex or in a tent here or where. I don't know if he's down in his bunker. Well, so I'd go up to his door, and I'd be knocking. And I'd already I'd walk out of the pickup, whatever, and be walking. I can already hear him going, nah, 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 nah. Like, he just did that all day to himself, okay? Then all of a sudden he'd be like, oh, fuck, do you hear that? Someone's here. What? Someone's here? Who's here? God damn it, no one ever fucking leaves me alone. Like, blah, 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 blah. I mean, just like, I'm like knocking on his door. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, I just texted you like 8 minutes ago. Like, fuck, no one ever leaves me alone, blah, blah, blah. I mean, just saying all this crazy stuff like that. I mean, just like, God damn it, blah. And all of a sudden, you like open the door, you'd be like, oh, hey, Gabe, come on in, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, fuck, 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 And I was like, you were just like saying all this stuff, like just literally a second ago. Like, I could hear you were like a foot from the door. Like, you know what I mean? But he'd be saying it the whole time, and then he'd let you in. That's freaking weird, right? Right? Just a little weird, right? That would trip me out. Dude, the guy also wanted to go shooting with me all the time. And I was just like, I was like, yo, yeah, something came up. I have a thing over there. I mean, like, I did not want to go shooting with him. Dude, he had a 50 caliber, dude, a freaking sniper. I mean, he had it all, dude. He had everything that you can freaking imagine. Okay. I'm not even going to say it all. Actually, dude, his place is like all burnt down now. He moved to this other more secluded area, and it burned down with the fires that burnt my freaking dad's house down. Seriously. But I don't know. Is there any more I want to say about that guy? If you guys ever want to hear more about that guy, I guess I can elaborate. Anyway, okay. One more story. This is one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me. All right. Now, this does matter a little bit because this happened at my old Suboxone doctor's clinic, okay? Now, this place was a freaking pill mill, okay? She did Suboxone as well, but it was one of those places, we know these places, right? So, you go in, and every freaking chair in the waiting room, it's full. Someone's sitting there, and when you go to the appointment, you're going to be there for 2 to 3 hours because that's just what it was every time, but you're desperate. So you go and you just put up with it, and that's what I did. And so it just sucked. I hated going to this place all the time. This was years ago when I got on Suboxone the first time. And I probably already said that, but whatever. So anyway, so I go in there for my appointment, whatever, and I'm sitting. I found a chair. Yay, musical chairs. I found one. Then I'm sitting there. Well, after you're in there for an hour and a half and you still haven't gotten called back yet, well, naturally, I had to go to the bathroom. I had to take a number 2, all right? I had to go take a number 2. And so anyway, so here's the deal. So the bathroom in this clinic, okay? It was just a little door right in the waiting room. Everybody knew who was going into the bathroom and who came out of the bathroom, and, who laid one down, who didn't, I mean, that's just what it was. It sucked. I already wasn't going to enjoy it because you could like hear people. I swear, if you farted really loud, you'd be like, you'd hear the little freaking echo, dude. I swear. It sucked. So I was already like, oh, I was already dreading it. Well, then it just got worse. So I'm in there and I do my thing and I flush the toilet and it plugged. And it didn't just plug and rise. No, it had to plug and it kept rising. So I'm off of the freaking thing. There's no freaking plunger. I don't get it. If you have a toilet, have an effing plunger there. You can get them for cheap. Anyway, okay. No plunger. And I mean, it's rising. Like, I just know I'm like, this is going to freaking spill. Well, this is really bad, okay? I don't really like telling this part of the story, but I guess we're here already, right? I was so desperate, I freaking put my hand in the toilet because I was like, dude, everyone's going to know. Well, they already knew something was going on in this freaking bathroom. All the, it was like freaking Ben Stiller when he's trying to, or, what I mean? No, anyway. But Meet the Parents, great movie. So I put my hand in there and it was in vain. It all over the freaking floor. Oh, I'm sure they could hear the freaking waterfall from out in the freaking waiting room. And it went everywhere. And, it was one of those ones where, yeah, there's poop on the floor. I mean, and it was so bad, dude. Yeah, it was the carpet outside of this freaking bathroom was wet, and I'm in there and I'm trying to do everything I can. I know it's in vain, but, you know how it is. It's just so embarrassing. Yeah, it sucked. It freaking sucked. So I'm getting paper towels and I'm freaking cleaning everything up and, trying to do my best, seriously, to cover up the evidence, but it was too late. And I did everything I could and came out of the bathroom, and everyone kind of looked at me and I kind of looked at everyone or tried to not look at everyone. And of course I get out and my feet are like squeaking, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, so I just go up to the desk. I'm like, hey, I was like, yeah, I went to the bathroom and I just said, I flushed it and it just like went crazy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do. And so I go back and sit in my chair and of course, the freaking janitor comes, the door's open. I was the last one out of the bathroom. I mean, everyone knows this anyway. He's got a mop and a freaking, whatever. I mean, that freaking sucked. I probably still had to wait another hour before I even got called back there. Seriously, I don't know. I was probably in there a while though. Hey, it killed time. It was something to do, right? But oh man, I hated that place. I freaking hated it. I'd hear people in there begging her for pills. You know what I mean? Being like, well, no, if I could just get another 60 milligrams a day, I really think that this back pain would help, and blah, 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 blah. And I, whatever they'd be saying, and doing the whole spiel. And she'd always cave and give in and whatever. But I was going to say some more stuff. I think I'm going to end this. I don't want this to go too long, right? I mean, I guess it could be a while, but no, but we'll stop it. We'll I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll stop it right there. But yeah, I freaking hated that place. Anyway, dude, the doctor's like, she's like on the run, dude. It's a trip. Anyway, feed for victory. I don't know. I really, really don't know. So God bless all y'all and salute.